Hopes and anticipation on one side and dejection in the other. As PV Sindhu takes a step towards Olympic glory, wrestler Narsingh Yadav faces dejection as he's banned for 4 years from competing. Sindhu's just one win away from making history by becoming the first Indian woman to win an individual gold medal at the Olympic Games. She'll take on Spain's Carolina Marin in the women's singles final in a short while from now. Earlier, Narsingh Yadav was dealt a blow by the Court of Arbitration for Sports, which upheld WADA's appeal against his participation at Rio and banned him for 4 years. All that and more over the next half hour, but first the headlines that we're tracking right now. India cheers PV Sindhu as she goes for gold in the Rio Olympics match against world number 1 Carolina Marin of Spain to start in a short while from now. Disappointment for Narsingh Yadav after Court of Arbitration for Sports hands him a 4-year ban in the dope scandal. Indian Olympic Association says the wrestler was defeated by compatriots rather than opponents. Former Afghanistan President Hamid Karzai endorses Prime Minister Narendra Modi's remarks on Balochistan, cautions people of Kashmir against falling victim to Pakistan's nefarious designs. And Islamic State owns responsibility for carrying out an attack on a police post in Moscow, claims it's retaliation for Russia mounting airstrikes in Syria. Our top story, shuttler PV Sindhu will take on world number 1 Carolina Marin of Spain in the women's singles final in a short while from now. Sindhu's already created history by becoming the first Indian woman to be in the final of an Olympic badminton event. A win will ensure a second individual gold for India and a first by a woman. Shooter Abhinav Bindra had bagged India's first Olympic gold at the 2008 Beijing Games. Sindhu will have to bring out her best against Marin, who has a 4-3 win-loss record against her. The world number 1 is in top form and will start as the favourite against the Indian. Marin has taken the world by storm, breaking the Chinese domination and securing the top spot in the world rankings. On Thursday, Sindhu's win against Japan's Nozomi Okuhara in the semi-final sent the whole nation into a frenzy.
मैं समझता हूं कि पीवी सिंधु एक नाम है कॉन्फिडेंस का, एक नाम है मेहनत का। उन्होंने जिस मेहनत और कॉन्फिडेंस से इस मुकाम को हासिल किया है, उसके लिए मैं पूरे देश की ओर से उनको शुभकामनाएं देता हूं।
We are very confident that with the kind of display that she's doing in badminton, she will come back with an Olympic gold. And both the girls have shown the path to the entire Indian team there.
Extremely happy and excited about today's match. PV Sindhu is going to be playing the finals, and I don't want to miss that. We'll all be praying for her success. I think also Sakshi has done really well.
सब लोग को एंटायर नेशन को चेयरिंग के लिए तैयार है, प्लस और गोल का हंगर है, तो जरूर गोल अपना जो सपना है पूरा करेगा।
I think big congratulations to her, what she's achieved, reaching the finals of Olympic badminton women's single is great achievement, and I hope today she can win gold as well. It's going to be a very tough match against number 1.
And there's a heartbreak for medal hopeful grappler Narsingh Yadav after WADA's appeal against his participation at the Rio Games. The Court of Arbitration for Sport has banned him for 4 years. The IOA says it was not able to convince the CAS panel that Yadav was a victim of sabotage and conspiracy.
Wrestler Narsingh Yadav's dreams of taking part at the ongoing Rio Olympics and bringing home a medal came to a crashing end Thursday night. The Court of Arbitration for Sport imposed a 4-year ban on Yadav after the World Anti-Doping Agency appealed against his participation. Devastated by the verdict, Yadav said he will now do everything to prove his innocence. In a statement, he said, and I quote, "To say that I am devastated at the decision of Court of Arbitration for Sport would be putting it mildly. I've gone through so much over the last 2 months off the mat, but the thought of fighting for the glory of the nation at the Games had kept me going. My dream of competing and winning the country a medal at the Rio Olympics had been cruelly snatched away from me 12 hours before my first bout. But now I will do everything it takes to prove my innocence. It's all I have left to fight for." Unquote. The Wrestling Federation of India also conceded that it was unable to convince the Court of Arbitration for Sports panel that Narsingh Yadav was a victim of conspiracy and sabotage.
I think it's a very sad day for Narsingh Yadav, but I think as far as the law is concerned, WADA has upheld the law, because any athlete who has been found to be doping, the law is very, very clear that he would only get the benefit of sabotage unless and until he proves it. I think in Narsingh's matter, the evidence which was led by him, his own affidavits and other documents which he had relied upon, didn't really help his case at all, and I think the verdict is as expected.
नरसिंह यादव का तो जो होना था हो गया, लेकिन हिंदुस्तान में अब किसी खिलाड़ी के साथ ऐसा ना हो, इसलिए ज़रूरी है कि इसकी जांच कराई जाए और इस नेक्सस को तोड़ा जाए, और जो इसका अपराधी है, जो दोषी है, उस व्यक्ति को बेनकाब किया जाए।
Family members of the grappler were left heartbroken.
सरकार ने रोक लगा दिए हैं, तो क्यों रोक लगा दिए? मेरे बेटा के लड़ने तो गोल्ड मेडल जीत करके आएंगे। आज खेलने का है, तो आज ऐसे आप एक पे करते हैं, तो इतना दिन से तैयारी करते हैं 4 साल से, तो इसमें बड़ी दुख की बात है।
The verdict marked a painful end to the entire doping controversy that started with Narsingh Yadav failing a dope test on the 25th of June. The wrestler alleged that he was a victim of sabotage, and after a thorough inquiry, the National Anti-Doping Agency found him not guilty and cleared him for the Rio Games. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Usain Bolt of Jamaica came one step closer to achieving a triple-triple in the Olympics, a combination of the 100 meters, 200 meters and the 4x100 meter relay. On Thursday, he won his third consecutive gold in the 200 meters event. At the age of 29, Bolt is now the oldest Olympic gold medalist in the men's 200 meters, taking him to 8 gold medals. Let's take a look at all the action that unfolded in Rio in the last 24 hours.
Usain Bolt once again demonstrated why he is called the greatest athlete of all time as he powered his way to gold in the men's 200 meter for the third time in a row in Olympics. The Jamaican ran 19.78 seconds to come home ahead of Canada's Andre de Grasse and France's Christophe Lemaitre, keeping alive his hopes of an unprecedented treble-treble. Bolt, who now has 8 Olympics gold, is aiming to match his achievement of claiming gold in the 100 meters, 200 meters and 4x100 meters relay at both Beijing and London Games.
I'm trying to build one of the greatest. You know what I mean? As I said, I want to be amongst the great. Muhammad Ali, Pele and all these guys. This is what I aim for. Hopefully after these Olympics, I'll be in that bracket.
In the 400 meters hurdles, Jalala Mohammad led from the start to finish to take the Olympic gold and complete a US double in the women's and men's events. America also took gold in the shot put as Ryan Krauser broke the Olympic record to take gold in his first major competition. The 23-year-old set the record with a throw of 22.52 meters. Meanwhile, defending champions the United States reached the women's Olympic 4x100 meter relay final at the second attempt after dropping the baton in their heat. The Americans ran on their own in the Olympic Stadium after successfully arguing they were obstructed in the first race earlier on Thursday. They ran 41.77 seconds to beat the time set by 8th fastest China. In Taekwondo, Jordan's Ahmed Abu Ghosh won his country's first Olympic medal after defeating Russia's Alexei Denisenko in the finals of the men's 68 kg category. In the women's section, Great Britain's Jade Jones retained her Olympics title as she defeated Spain's Eva Calvo Gomez in a dramatic final. In men's hockey, Argentina won gold for the first time with a 4-2 victory over Belgium. Argentina were a goal down but took control by scoring 3 goals before half-time. Germany won the bronze medal with a 4-3 penalty shootout win over the Netherlands after the match ended 1-1. Hosts Brazil took beach volleyball gold in front of a frenzy home crowd as Alison Cerruti and Bruno Schmidt defeated Italy 2-0 to win the nation's first gold in the sport in 12 years. In the overall medals tally on day 13th, the United States maintains the lead with 100 medals that includes 35 gold, 33 silver and 32 bronze. Britain stands at the second spot with 22 golds, while China retains the third spot with 58 medals that includes 20 gold, 16 silver and 22 bronze. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time for us to take a short break. Lost on the other side, do stay tuned.
What you think are our major challenges in terms of higher education?
Major challenge is improper recognition of what an education costs. I feel that the government is not investing enough in higher education. A lot of our problems can be addressed very effectively by science. I think a career in science is a tremendous privilege to have.
Watch Eureka with Professor Ram Ramaswamy, President, Indian Academy of Sciences, only on Rajya Sabha TV. The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, the CRPF has told the Jammu and Kashmir High Court that any ban on pellet guns as a crowd control measure could result in more deaths as its personnel would be forced to fire bullets in extreme situations. The paramilitary force submitted the affidavit in response to a PIL seeking a ban on the use of pellet guns as a means for crowd control in the valley. While CRPF and BSF submitted their replies, the state government is yet to file its response to the PIL filed by the Kashmir High Court Bar Association. The case is listed for hearing on Saturday. Meanwhile, militants attacked a BSF camp in the Karna area of Kupwara district on Friday, injuring 3 security personnel and triggering a gunfight. The camp, targeted by militants, houses an ammunition depot. As the gunfight was on, reinforcements were rushed to neutralize the militants. Curfew remained in force in several districts of Kashmir in the wake of the increasing militant attacks and the separatists' call for a shutdown in the valley. Now, India and China held the 8th high-level financial and economic dialogue in Beijing on Friday. The summit aims to strengthen trade and economic cooperation between the two countries. Both sides aim to underline the need to build solidarity in order to adopt macroeconomic policies. Secretary Economic Affairs Shaktikanta Das, accompanied by a team of officials from the RBI and Finance Ministry, attended the annual dialogue along with the Chinese delegation. The dialogue mechanism looks at exchanging ideas and status reports on the macroeconomic situation in both countries. India and China shared their economic and fiscal policies and discussed issues of structural reforms and bilateral investment. The dialogue is being held ahead of the G20 summit to be held in Hangzhou, followed by the BRICS summit in Goa. The summit would focus on global economic slowdown and initiatives to spur growth. Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu met External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj in New Delhi today. The two foreign ministers held wide-ranging talks on a range of bilateral and regional issues. He's on a three-day visit to India and will call on Vice President Mohammad Ahmed Ansari later today. On Saturday, he'll depart for Hyderabad, where he will inaugurate the Turkish consulate building. This is the foreign minister's first official visit to India. The DMK today moved the Madras High Court, challenging the suspension of its MLAs by the Tamil Nadu Assembly Speaker. Seeking an urgent hearing, the party demanded quashing of Section 121 of the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly rules. The High Court bench has asked the DMK to file an affidavit that could be taken up for hearing in usual course. Meanwhile, the suspended MLAs continue to protest outside the assembly. They also held a mock assembly session with DMK Deputy Leader Durai Murugan functioning as Speaker and Leader of Opposition M.K. Stalin occupying the Chief Minister's chair. All DMK MLAs present in the assembly on Wednesday were suspended for a week by Speaker P. Dhanapal following charges of causing disruptions in the House. Some more national news updates now in Nationwide. Intelligence sleuths apprehended a Pakistani spy in Jaisalmer district of Rajasthan today. The spy, identified as Nandlal Maharaj, admitted to bringing 35 kilograms of RDX to India. The police seized maps of the border areas and photographs from him at the time of his arrest. It is investigating if he received any help locally. The CBI took over the investigation of the gang rape at Bulandshahr in Uttar Pradesh today. The UP police claim they arrested 5 of the accused while one is absconding. The family of the rape survivors approached the Supreme Court with complaints against insensitive remarks made by the state police and Minister Azam Khan. A special court today framed various charges against former Coal Secretary H.C. Gupta, 2 public servants, private firm Vikash Metals and Power Limited, and its 2 officials in a coal blocks allocation scam case. They've all been charged of cheating and criminal conspiracy. The court has fixed September 9th as the next date of hearing after the accused pleaded not guilty. 15 police personnel of Town Police Station in Gopalganj in Bihar were suspended after the recent tragedy. With the death of more than one victim yesterday, the death toll has now climbed to 16. 7 people have been arrested in the case so far. 7 more accused are at large and a search is on for them. The tragedy was the first major incident after Bihar declared prohibition in the state. The Delhi High Court today directed Payal Abdullah to gracefully vacate the government accommodation she's been residing in with her sons. She is the estranged wife of former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah. On August 16, the trial court too had asked her to move out of the house. The former president of Afghanistan, Hamid Karzai, has come out strongly in support of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's stand on Balochistan. Cautioning the people of Jammu and Kashmir not to be swayed by Pakistan, he said Pakistan is misusing them for its own narrow strategic objectives. After the statement of Bangladesh Information Minister on terrorism, this is another neighbor who has indicted Pakistan's poor record on terror in the SAARC region.
Afghanistan's former president Hamid Karzai feels that Pakistan, after exploiting the sentiments of people in Afghanistan, is now playing the same tricks with the people of Kashmir. On a personal visit to India, Karzai spoke exclusively to Sabha TV on issues related to India, Pakistan and Afghanistan. He said peace is eluding Afghanistan only because of Pakistan's strategic designs. Karzai also told the people of Kashmir to defeat the designs of Pakistan and integrate with India.
I will tell our Kashmiri brothers this, that Afghanistan also was helped in the same way. But then we saw that help began to work against us, began to cause us suffering, began to cause us damage, began to cause us the loss of our country and our lives in a very disastrous way. So I hope they would understand. I hope they will not disturb their own peace, their own lives, and live with their own brothers in India peacefully and in harmony.
Having been president of Afghanistan for 2 terms, Karzai accepted that his efforts to establish peace with Pakistan had not yielded results. Endorsing the remarks of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he said the people of Balochistan are suffering the atrocities inflicted on them by the Pakistani army. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the Islamic State today released a video claiming responsibility for carrying out an attack at a traffic police post outside Moscow, in which both attackers were killed. The terror group called it revenge for Russia's aerial bombing campaign in Syria that escalated earlier this week.
The terror group Islamic State on Friday claimed responsibility for an attack on a traffic police post outside Moscow on Wednesday. Both attackers were killed in the attack that the Islamic State termed as revenge for Russia's aerial bombing campaign in Syria.
Мы мujahidi исламского государства находимся под баятом Абу-Бакр аль-Багдади аль-Курайши и вышли на этот путь, на путь джихада по приказу нашего амира. Иншаллах.
The militant group made the claim via the Amaq news agency and released a video in which the attackers said they wanted to take revenge for Russia killing Muslims in the Middle East.
Мы находимся в Москве по приказу нашего амира, нашего халифа Абу-Бакра аль-Багдади, который приказал нам делать все, что в наших силах.
Russia is bombing militants in Syria since last September as part of a military campaign in support of President Bashar al-Assad. On Wednesday, it used an Iranian airbase to launch airstrikes in Syria for a second day running. It rejected US suggestions that its cooperation with Tehran might violate a UN resolution.
Никаких поводов подозревать Россию в нарушении резолюции 2231 не имеется. Согласно этой резолюции, необходимо согласовывать с Советом Безопасности ООН поставку, продажу и передачу.
Russia's defense ministry said Sukhoi 34 fighter bombers flying from Iran's Hamadan air base struck Islamic State targets in Syria's Deir al-Zor province, destroying 2 command posts and killing more than 150 militants.
Боевые самолеты с согласия Ирана используются российскими воздушно-космическими силами для участия в антитеррористической операции на территории Сирийской Арабской Республики по просьбе законного сирийского руководства.
Washington called the move unfortunate and said on Tuesday it was looking into whether Russia's move had violated UN Security Council Resolution 2231, which prohibits the supply, sale and transfer of combat aircraft to Iran. Russia's use of the Iranian airbase comes amid intense fighting for the Syrian city of Aleppo, where rebels are battling Syrian government forces backed by the Russian military. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
That's all from us. Goodbye.